struggling and work towards building a society where mental health is prioritized and no one feels alone in their pain. This year's theme, Creating Hope Through Action, is a powerful reminder that even the smallest gesture, listening, reaching out, or simply being there can make a life-changing difference. Suicide is preventable, and together, through understanding, compassion, and connection, we can save lives. Let today not only be a day of reflection, but also a call to action to break the stigma, to speak openly about mental health, and to ensure that everyone knows help is available and healing is possible. Let's begin our day with a moment of prayer. I now invite the choir team to lead us with a prayer as we come together in reflection, hope, and unity. I request every one of you to raise up for the prayer.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Holds a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in clinical psychology and is currently pursuing her doctoral studies specializing in psychology. Her research spans diverse areas: gender studies, child psychology, organizational psychology, and existential psychology, reflecting both depth and breadth of knowledge. She has previously worked as an industrial psychologist and researcher in the healthcare industry, contributing to evidence-based practices and psychometric game development. At present, she serves as a consultant therapist at Direct and as an intervention design analyst with a parenting company where she develops tailored interventions to support families, children, and overall well-being. We are truly privileged to have her with us today to share her insights on such a sensitive and meaningful topic.
I now request our Vice Principal, Ms. Jayagori ma'am, to kindly felicitate Ms. Ria Jobson ma'am as a token of her respect and gratitude. Ms. Ria Jobson ma'am to address us and guide us with her knowledge, experience, and words of encouragement on suicide prevention and mental health. Let's welcome her with a warm round of applause.
Okay. I'm Ria. Do everybody know your Tamil? Good enough. Because I'll be talking in both Tamil and English. Okay? Why? Better to reach within rather than talking about a very different language which we don't understand. Or something that's really jargon related things. Okay. Any doubts before we get into this particular topic? About me? Something you want to ask to me? Something like that? Before I get into the topic which we'll be seeing here, suicide அப்படின்னு சொல்றது, it's a something that we tend to stigmatize. அப்படி நீங்க யாராவது நினைக்கிறீங்களா? Can you raise your hands if you feel that suicide is a very idiotic decision? Okay. Do you feel suicide is a very sensible one? None. Okay. Do you feel or educating about suicide is something really good in Tunga age? Why yes? Okay, who has the letter P in their name? Okay, raise. Whoever has P, raise. Raise. Okay. Okay, who has the letter in the people who has the P, who has the letter A? Okay, who has the letter S? None. You? No, you. இருக்கா இல்லையா? P, A, V. பவித்ராவா? பவியா? V. No. P, A, V. இந்த மூணு லெட்டருமே பேர்ல இருக்கா? P. Okay, good, excellent. You have? Oh, P, A, V இருக்கா? Okay, so you are the selected candidate. பவதாரிணி, P, A, V. அதான் ஒரு பவித்ரா, பவதாரிணி, பவி யாராவது ஒருத்தங்க. Okay, you are the second one. Okay, you both. Why do you think it is necessary to teach about all these things in a school setting? போட்டாங்க ஒரு பீரியட் கத்தாயிடும் இங்கே வந்து ஏசியில் உட்காந்துருக்கோம். Why about suicide? What is so interesting about suicide that you people should know about it?
Okay, so social media is like over glorifying depression and such terms. So even for small problems, people may think it's a very big thing, and they may get too much into depression or any over thoughts, and it's easily they can go into the trap of suicide. So it's necessary to give them awareness.
Why your age? If that was the correct fit, your age should be 18 years. Social media யாருக்கெல்லாம் இருக்கு? Oh. Okay, 18 years is the legal age to get into Instagram. All these things happens in Instagram. Then why you? Why you? Why your population? I am assuming your age will be from 15 to 16 to 18. 18 irukku yaradhu? No, 16 and 17. Okay, why you? Why you the population? Okay. Okay, excellent. Good. Your point is also excellent. I'm looking for something else. Why you? Puberty starts, okay, right? In the period, a lot of hormone fluctuations happen. In the side, it's a period where a lot of hormonal fluctuations happen. And that's a period where we don't know how to are we talking to parents, to teachers, to friends and all these things. This is a very sensitive period in us. What do you mean by sensitive? Emotionally sensitive? Physically sensitive? Who has the letter Z? Tell me. Why? What is a sensitivity mean?
Adolescence period is quite a sensitive period. Like we have hormone fluctuations, many thoughts, feelings, everything is kind of new to us.
Audible தானே? இது சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறது ஓகே ஓகே என்ன சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தீங்க?
So like we get like these new feelings, new thoughts, something that's different, and then we become like quite sensitive to it. We start overthinking, and we take rash decisions also.
Excellent. See, the thing is, sensitivity of disorder, we become sensitive in whole phases. Physical, mental, behavioral, emotional. இன்னைக்கு காலையில ஸ்கூலுக்கு வர்றது லேட் ஆனவங்க யாரெல்லாம்? ஐயோ வைஸ் பிரின்சிபல் இருக்காங்க அப்புறம் கேட்குறேன். ஓகே ஓகே யாரெல்லாம் லேட்டா ஜஸ்ட் மிஸ்ஸுக்கு உள்ள வந்தீங்க? ஓகே வாட் ஹேப்பன் இன் யுவர் ஹோம் டுடே?
In my mind, I woke up late and because of that I came.
ஓகே அம்மா அப்பா எப்படி பேசுனாங்க?
Super பேசுனாங்க.
Another person who lifted hands? யார் லேட்டா வந்தீங்க? வீட்ல என்னாச்சு?
Nothing happened at home. I was too tired to ride my cycle to school.
Okay. So was mom pestering you? Kalma time aache? Okay. Another person. Huh? Another person who came late. Huh? Huh?
I woke up late. Mom was just saying because even she had to go
To work.
to her work.
Okay. How did you feel when mom pestered you?
10 minutes.
நொய்யினே சொல்லிட்டே இருக்காங்க. எப்ப பார்த்தாலும் என்ன சொன்னாலும் நொய்யி அது பண்ணக்கூடாது, இப்படி உட்காரக்கூடாது, இப்படி பேசுறேன், இப்படி பழகிறது. ஃபங்க்ஷன் கிட்ட போனா என்ன பேசுறாங்க? ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸை பார்த்து எப்படி பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றாங்க. நமக்கே அந்த பாதி ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸ் தெரியும். ஏதோ பேச்சுக்கு போடுன்னு போறோம், அங்க போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஏன் சிரிக்கல, ஏன் உண்மையை வைக்கிறேன், ஏன் இப்படி பார்க்க, இப்படி உட்கார. What is DSL? What is DSL? Diagnostic? Manual. What is ICD?
Classification of disorders.
International classification of disorders, diseases, dimensions. ஏதோ ஒண்ணுதான் இந்த book. நீ கண்டுபிடிச்சு சொல்றீங்க. Okay, so this whole aspect, now we have given different definitions out here. Okay, the latest one is DSM-5, and then we have the DSM-11, ICD-11. Whatever be the, irrespective of whatever definitions we have here, my whole plan of going with this session is not what I put in this PPT. PPT is just for my aid. No matter கூடாது இந்த points சொல்றதுக்கு எனக்கு அந்த aspect. Irrespective of definitions that are given out here. Suicide is a very sensitive topic, even if I talk in a very jovial manner about it. It's something that most of the time, the age group that you fall into, it's very vulnerable to that particular thing. Doesn't mean that உங்க ஏஜ் குரூப் தவிர்த்து வேற எந்த ஏஜ் குரூப் இதை பற்றி யோசிக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க அப்படி இல்லை. Here the vulnerability increases because of all the points that we mentioned before. அம்மா அப்பா காலையில இருந்து நோய் 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 ஓ வாழ்க்கையே ஏண்டா இப்படி நாசமா போகுது. எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் ஸ்கூலில் வந்தால் டீச்சர் நோய் நோய்னு இருக்காங்க, திருப்பி போனால் இது நோய் ஸ்கூலில் அது இது 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 when will I get a free space? This is going to be a part and parcel of your life. Throughout, you know, till the end of your life, ஒன்றுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒன்று நடந்துதான் இருக்கும். The whole aspect here, the whole topic I'm talking about here, is not about what a theory you have to keep in mind. Suicide எதனால நடக்குது, நீங்க என்னெல்லாம் பார்க்கணும். It is more than that. The whole ideology of talking here is how to build your resilience towards it. Things happen. You can never run away from those things. Ipo, I believe there are 50 to 60 students here. 50 to 60 students la unga pakkathula irukravungalukku ungalku enna nadakudunu yaarkume theriyadu, because nobody talks about it. It's rarely these days that people talk about it to your friends. Rarely they write about it. It's just within you. யார்கிட்டயோ சொன்னா ரொம்ப ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாயிடும், மற்றவங்க என்ன ஜட்ஜ் பண்ண எனக்கு எப்படி இருக்கும், all these aspects. The whole point we are talking okay. The whole idea we are talking here is not to boost the thought process about suicide. Suicide happens mainly because of two things. One, it's called as impulsive, the other one is planned. Impulsive na enna? Impulsive na? Suddenly. Planned na? Room pottu yosichu, okay, idha appdinu irukku. Impulsive happens or planned happens. Thank you so much. Planned happens more frequently. Possible. Planned delay more. ஏன் கம்மியா இருக்கும்? கொஞ்சம் மூளை போட்டு யோசிக்க வேண்டியது இருக்கு, மாட்ட கூடாதுன்னு. Okay, good. Both can happen. It's a very minute differences between both in impulsive and planned. Impulsive, most of the time what happens is something happens and you cannot get into that process. See, we have an emotional processing. Most of your students are psychology, I understand. Unga classes you will be learning about what is emotion regulation, what is emotion, what is affect, what is behavior, all these things. Takkanu oru vishayam nadakkumbodhu, if you are not able to gulp that thing, suddenly as a reaction to that, we commit suicide. Is it a good thing? No. But if somebody committed suicide, is it good to talk that it's an idiotic thing? Yes, no? Yes, no? Why no? Why no? When I came into class today, I asked the first statement, is suicide an idiotic thing? Most of them raised their hand. Why now no? Who has the letter I? Okay, I irukravangala who has the letter D? Diya, Divya? Udita? Your name? You somebody here. Your name?
Sarvali Anjana Jyoti.
Okay, great. Udita, tell me, why do you support it is not an idiotic number?
Because we don't know the reason what they have undergone. We don't know what physical thing.
what mental behavior or what they have undergone. So,
Excellent. Jyoti, why?
I can't feel the same thing what they have.
Exactly. This is called as empathy. Sympathy வேற, empathy வேற. Sympathy க்கு empathy difference என்ன? Do you have it in your paper? எல்லாரும் ஒரே definition. Sympathy is when ரோட்ல நடந்து போறீங்க, you're finding a child who's begging. ஐயோ பாவம். Sympathy. You have your best friend going through really rough time. She's crying out to you, he's crying out to you. On the particular moment, more than sympathy, the chance of you having empathy is high. That is empathy. எல்லார்கிட்டயோ sympathy விட empathy காட்டதா the whole ideology happens. Here I have given a Durkheim's types of suicide concept. This is nothing to do, I don't want you to sit and learn what are the 4 types, nothing. The reason I put out in the PPT is for you to understand what are the reasons what people might choose to end up their life. For example, egoistic suicide happens when there's a high amount of isolation. Isolation, you notice that all of a sudden, in the friend நம்ம கிட்ட பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. இந்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட் இந்த கிளாஸ் தனியா உட்கார்றாங்க. யார்கிட்டயுமே வந்துட்டு ஜெல் ஆக மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. Why? Letter B. எனக்கு எல்லா லெட்டரும் குறிப்பேன். B. Oh, you. No. One again. Letter A, B, C. C. No one in C. C. D. No, D put it. D, E. இப்போ யாருக்கும் alphabetsல பேர் போடல. E. Good. Did I ask you before? Okay. E. What do you mean by all of a sudden? Why do you think a student or a person would isolate?
Because they may be suffering mentally.
Mentally?
And thinking that no one would care.
Excellent point. நான் சொன்னேன் யாருமே எனக்காக நினைக்க மாட்டாங்க. I'm alone in this life. I'm alone in this world. My battles are only mine. Nobody will help me. This mentality இருந்தா egoistic suicide அப்படின்னு சொல்ற point வரும். Then we have another one called as altruistic suicide. Now this is something not very recurringly happening. This is something where you sacrifice for someone, especially for religious concerns. Okay, இப்போ இந்த ஒரு பண்டிகை நடக்கணும்னா human sacrifices happen, all these things. It's not something that happens on a very common basis. Then we have fatalistic suicide. Fatalistic suicide is when life becomes overly controlled and you feel you have no freedom. This happens, I was discussing it to your ma'am. One of my friend, when I was doing my PG, we did an exam. It's a very competitive exam in psychology, so we went for that exam. Exam got over, we came back to our institution. 2 weeks later, this particular classmate, she didn't show up to class. Said, okay, leave போடலாம். Exam வரப்போகுது. எங்களோட semester exam வரப்போகுது. Maybe because of that. And then it took later, ஒரு 2 to 3 days ஆகுது. Still no response from her family. Then we knew her friend gang இருக்கும்ல, அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு friend gang இருக்கும்ல. They keep on texting her. When we ask her, அவங்க வந்துட்டு okay, அவங்களுக்கு உடம்பு சரியில்லை, அப்படிதான் சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Next day, we are all sitting in class and we get an information that she committed suicide. The reason why she committed suicide was because she couldn't pass that particular competitive exam. And family said that, உங்களுக்கு அது pass ஆக முடியலன்னா உனக்கு கல்யாணம் பண்ணி வச்சிருங்க. She committed suicide. Now, what type of suicide was that? Planned or impulsive? இது 4ல, okay, I haven't explained to you economic, in the 3ல, which will it fall into? Because all of a sudden she realizes that I don't have autonomy in life. What is autonomy? Self-control. I have no freedom. எல்லாமே எனக்காக decisions எடுக்கறாங்க. Now, most of the time, we அந்த விஷயம் நடக்கும்போது we complain or we pinpoint to our parents. அவங்களால தான் அந்த குழந்தை இப்படி ஆச்சு. It's because of them, police case and all these things. From their parents' perspective, they never did that intentionally. அவங்க பேச்சுக்கு சொன்னாங்க. போலையா படிக்கலையா அவ்வளவுதான் கல்யாணம் பண்ணி வச்சிருவார். She did it impulsively. இதுல யார் சைடுல தப்பு? தப்புன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. Lack of understanding that happens. after that incident happened, a lot of my classmates, a lot of other members pinpointed towards say avangalaala da and ponukku appadi vandiruchu ivanga appa ippadi pesinala da and kulandhukku appadi aayiruchu. No, oru veekla if I'm thinking about some other terminology, differential or dynamics exist agum. You can't expect your parents to work and think just the way you are thinking. They are a different entity, you are a different entity. Until you communicate what your need is, அவங்களுக்கு அது புரிய போறது இல்ல. நீங்க கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணி பாத்தீங்க, இன்னும் புரியல. What is the next step you should take? இப்போ let's say you are planning to take a particular course after this. Roll number வேண்டாம். Letter Q. யார் அந்த மூச்சு விட்டது? உங்க தான் திருப்பி பிடிக்கணும். Who has Q? No one. Who has R? I have asked her. R? Okay. 10. என்ன கேட்ட? மாட்டி விட்டுட்டா. Choosing the course. Imagine what's the course you want to take after this?
I'm going to medicine.
Medicine. Imagine your parents aren't supporting for medicine. Okay? A hypothetical situation. How do you explain it to them?
I would say that I have a lot of interest in that than others.
Okay. Alla mudiyadhu. நீ engineering தான் படிச்சாகணும். மெடிசன்ல இப்ப யாருமே காசு தரதில்லம்மா புரிஞ்சுக்கோமா. What would you reply? What would you do? Engineering எடுத்துருங்க. சும்மா எதுக்கு வம்பு தும்பு நம்ம பார்த்து அவங்க பேசுற மாதிரி வாழ்க்கை. Oh. What would you do?
Due to those pressures, I will take.
Due to the pressures you will take. How else can we change this particular thing to protest? நீ அந்த ரேஞ்சுக்கு போயிட்டியா? Part-time job. What do you mean by part-time job? How is it helping you? Okay. Financial wise. Okay, good point. Financial எல்லாம் அடுத்தது. பேசிக்கா எனக்கு மெடிசன் தான் வேணும்னு எப்படி how do you approach your parents?
For that instance,
Sit.
for that instance, I'll let it go. I'll try to get good marks so that I can get through scholarship, so that the financial aid can be.
Okay, excellent point. Other method.
Making them understand that we're so adamant on that.
Okay. Protest கிட்டத்தட்ட.
Not this protest.
நீ அப்படி பிடிக்கிற. Okay, convince them with their favorite people. Will their favorite people stand with you? They might. Okay. Okay, நம்ம குடும்பத்துல ஒரு டாக்டர் இப்படிதான். Okay, the best way to tell to them is by making them sit and tell. Sit and telling na, okay, அப்பா அம்மா வந்து உட்காருங்க, உங்ககிட்ட விஷயம் அப்பா அம்மா எதற்கு தான் போறாங்க? Because see, at the end of the point, parents will never think wrong for you. It's a known fact. Parents will never think, leave parents. Obviously, your institution will never do something that will put you at position with, ayyo, even awesome photo. Never. Your institution will never do that. Your parents will never do that. Nobody does that. Our wishes and their wishes might differ. It all depends upon how we communicate to them. And the essence, உங்களுக்கு அது எவ்வளோ இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், எதனால நீங்கள் இதை சூஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க, and if you're not ready to take the responsibility of that, if parents feel that, obviously they are not going to support you. Right? Well, medicine படிக்கணும். I had a friend of mine. அவளுக்கு medicine படிக்கணும், but she didn't score enough well in NEET. The next thing she did was she went to parents. எனக்கு ஒரு private institution சேரணும், கிட்டத்தட்ட 25 லட்சம் ஆயிரம் டொனேஷன் கட்டிடுங்க. They had to pay because that's her end goal. MBBS. Okay, என்ன வீட்ல ஒரு டாக்டர் ஒர்க் நான் பண்ணிடுறேன். Is that the way how you communicate? No. Here again, the whole point of talking about this, didn't tell about that. The whole point of talking about this is a dual perspective thing. உங்க psychology or leave psychology aspect. In all aspects, there's something called as perspective taking. உங்க பொசிஷன்ல மற்ற பொசிஷன் எப்படி பார்க்குறாங்க, Why are they communicating you? What are they trying to tell you? What is teacher trying to tell you? Friends trying to tell you? All these things. Edanala, why, when, where, all these aspects. Once you're enabled to the perspective taking, things become much easier. Who has the letter M? M? I'll come to you. M. You can try. Okay, try to guess. I reached here by 11 or something, 11:50. I came here in 7, 11:13 vechukova. Once I got it, okay, what would be my perspective on you guys?
Students.
What else? Correct only. What else? My first impression
Yeah.
enna varundirukum.
They are teenagers, a group of teenagers who are studying 11th or 12th. In the middle of production.
Adala theory. நான் என்ன நினைச்சிருக்கேன்? What would I thought about you guys? Try. There is no right answer or wrong answer. நான் தான நினைச்சேன். ஒருவேளை நீங்க தப்பா சொன்னா ஆமா ஆமான்னு தான் சொல்ல போறேன். So try, give it a shot. Who else? Leave the alphabet.
They look
question
energetic. They look energetic.
Okay, good. Yeah, I did think about it. Other one. Another one. Okay. இங்க யார் பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் பக்கத்துல உட்காருங்க? I asked you. You. Who's your best friend? எல்லாரும். Okay, pick one. Just one for this hypothetical situation. ஒருத்தர் choose பண்ணு. அவன் என்ன ஏன்டா சொல்றேன்? நானும் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆவேன். Okay. Okay, do you both think alike? ஒரே மாதிரி யோசிப்பீங்களா? டிஃப்ரெண்டா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளத்துக்கு டிஃப்ரெண்டா சொல்யூஷன். Totally. Excellent. Okay, நீங்க are you 18? Okay, imagine you're 18. You're driving. Helmet வைக்க மறந்துட்டீங்க. போலீஸ் பிடிக்குது. நீங்க ரெண்டு பேர் இருக்கீங்க. போலீஸ் கிட்ட உங்க ரெண்டு பேர் வச்சுல try to tell a perspective how he will be dealing the situation. பிடிச்சிருங்க சார். He'll say you to call your parents. நிஜமா அந்த சிச்சுவேஷன் என்ன பண்ணிருப்ப? அதேதான் பண்ணிருப்ப. What would have you done? Same? Okay, what would have he done? நான் சொல்லிருப்பேன், அவன் கூப்பிட்டுருப்பான். Nothing. Imagine, what would have he done? Police, what would have you done? You will call your parents. Okay. Similar, again. Appa na vera situation tara. Imagine you went for a okay. Imagine you're sitting in exam hall. Copy அடிச்சிட்டீங்க. புடிச்சிட்டாங்க. நீங்க காப்பி அடிச்சிட்டீங்கனே வெச்சுக்கோங்க. Hypothetical. Okay. Okay, in such situation, invigilator asks you, என்ன பண்ணிருக்க? அப்படி இருந்தா what would he respond to? How would he respond to? பயம் வருமா? ஆமா. Anxiety ஆகுமா? He'll deny it. He'll admit it. யோசிக்கிறான். நீ வேற நல்லவனா சொல்லிட்டாங்க. இப்போ நான் பண்ணியே ஆகுறேன். What would you do? ஆமா. Not him, you. No. ஆமா. Excellent. Give a clap. Now, perspective taking is different psychological method of doing that and all. I don't want you to know about those things. That's not our aim. Minimum, உங்க பக்கத்துல இருக்க ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கோ உங்க பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கோ அது எப்படி இவங்க எப்படி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுவாங்க, இவங்க எப்படி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுவாங்க. Both the scenarios, whether it's the traffic police thing or the copy thing, you clearly, at least 80%, 90% you will know how your friend would do. That's more than enough for you to understand your friend. If somewhere you feel that you, on the situation you end up guess pannume, then somewhere you're still, there's a gap between knowing to your real practice. அவங்க எப்படின்னு தெரியறதுக்கு this is still gap. Do everybody know about defense here? No? Yes? No? Try to know more. Okay? The last one is anomic suicide. Anomic suicide, again, it mostly happens when there's a sudden situation that's arising or a checkmate situation where we can handle it. Mostly, again, this is for adult population where financial loss, economic crisis, breakups, all these things happen. I'm not asking here about that question. Okay, the next one we have here is a theoretical part. This is again theory of பார்க்காதீங்க. மூணு ஏரியாஸ்ல தான் வந்துட்டு மூணு things சேர்ந்து வரும்போது மட்டும் தான் வந்துட்டு it will start to affect a person. First one is thwarted belongingness, you have perceived burdenness, and the last one is acquired capability. As you see the Venn diagram, இது மூணுல ஏதாவது ரெண்டு சேர்ந்து வந்தா chances of the person committing a suicide is high. For example, thwarted belongingness na, as we said, mentioned before, isolation. எனக்கு யாருமே இல்லை, யாருமே என்ன பார்த்துக்கிறதுல, I'm all alone in this whole field. என் லைஃப்ல நான் தான் பேட்டில் எடுத்து போராடணும். Second one, perceived burdenness, அதாவது believing that others would be better off without them. நான் இல்லாட்டியும் நல்லா தான் இருப்போம், என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஹாப்பியாக தான் இருக்காங்க, என் பேரண்ட்ஸ் ஹாப்பியாக தான் இருக்காங்க, நான் இல்லைன்னு சொன்னாலும் things would be much happy and better for them. Third one is acquired capability. Again, it depends upon how are you planning for it, how long have you planned for it, do you have the real strength in it, capacity from inner to do that or commit that particular thing. இது மூணு சேர்த்து வரும்போது what happens? ரெண்டு வந்துருச்சுன்னா high chances, right? If you know anybody who is thinking such thoughts, who you believe is going through something bad, make sure never take those things into your head. You can talk to them, but put them towards someone. Who's that someone? Parents, elders, counselors, teachers, anybody whom you trust who would help in that situation, right? Remember, suicide it's not about taking their life. It's a quick method people will do to stop the pain they have. Pain it's a very gruesome state. It's really difficult. In my experience, when I was doing my PG, we had clinical house surgeons. We have a hell number of population who come for cases, clients, some of them we have lost to terrible losses. And on sitting on the other position as a psychologist, ஒரு client இன்னைக்கு வந்தாங்க, நாளைக்கு உங்க பிரச்சனை, see, therapy doesn't happen in a single method. ஒரு நாள் வந்தாங்க, okay bye, சரி பாட்டுங்க, அடுத்த வாட்டி நீங்க சரியாயிடுங்க, இல்ல. Therapy happens with so much amount of time, so much amount of effort and all. But again, they would be planning for a really long time, or it's something that happened that triggered them even after giving them even after doing all the things, even after parents get your family get you, இந்த மாதிரி பேசாதீங்க, provoke பண்ணி பேசாதீங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு a slip of a tongue, you would have committed it. Again, understand, it is not an act of sympathy that you need to move there. It is an act of sympathy and empathy. Okay, now how can we find them? Quickest thing you can learn here is, what is this word? Ispatwa. Ispatwa. Okay, I stands for ideation. Now, okay, I'll ask next time. I stands for ideation, S stands for substance abuse. At your age, substance abuse chances are very less, but not something that will never exist. It will exist, less such chances. P stands for purposelessness. As I've mentioned, ennala vaalkaikku yaarkku endha payanum illa. A stands for anxiety or agitation. T stands for trapped feeling. Trapped feeling in the sense like, that's the end. I can't escape from this. This is the maximum I can do. இதை தாண்டி என்னால் எதுவுமே பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு இருக்கிற சிச்சுவேஷனில் தான் T comes. H is hopelessness. Again, that and purposelessness, anxiety, all comes in a same trajectory. In the stuffs like hopelessness வரும்போது இனிமே என்ன பண்ணிட்டு பாட்டுக்கு தான் போகுது வாழ்க்கை ஃபுல்லா நான் கஷ்டப்பட போறேன். Nobody is going to understand me. Hopelessness. Withdrawal. Again, isolation. You find this person going apart from you, going away from you. தனியா உட்கார்றாங்க, யார்கிட்டயும் பேசுவாங்க. I understand your school gives so much importance to physical education, right? You have sports. If you find all of a sudden one of your friends is not attending sports meet, coming out, not of physical reasons, for some other reasons, find out why are they falling out. Anger, recklessness, mood changes. Anger again, all of a sudden they might show rage, irritability, படபடபடபடான்னு ஒரு வார்த்தை கேட்கக்குள்ள they will, you know, they'll shout at us. முன்னாடி இப்படி பேசலையே, இப்போ மட்டும் அவங்க டக் 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 நம்ம கிட்ட பேசுறாங்க. Recklessness is all about risky behaviors. Again, since you are not prone to driving and all these things, we can avoid that pattern. But even are you max students irukalla? Are you doing geometry? Obviously, compass, protractor, what is a divider, all these things is something that you might. All of a sudden, he or she uses in a very reckless manner. Enga kuthanalum prachana illa. Dissection needles. Do you use dissection needles? Do you use blade, cutters during a project and stuff like that? All of a sudden, he feels or she feels that. See, it is different when you look from a different perspective. Funnuku பண்றவங்க நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. There are some people who get safety pins, who put it inside this thing, like what's that, ectoderm, and they shows like பாரு நான் பெரிய magician ஆயிட்டேன். That is a different concept. அதுவும் இது mix பண்ணக்கூடாதீங்க. All of a sudden you feel that your friend is doing that doesn't mean that he is committing suicide. That is a different context. That is not what I am trying to say. Here you can sense something is wrong. You can sense இவன் இல்ல நேத்து வரைக்கும் இல்லனா பங்களா முன்னாடி என்கிட்ட பேசணும் இல்ல இப்போ இருக்குது. That is recklessness. And the last one is mood changes. Mood changes happens when டக்குனு சந்தோஷமா இருக்கா, டக்குனு அழுகா, டக்குனு கோவப்படுறா, டக்குனு all of a sudden is leaving that place. That is when you have to notice. People use, as she had mentioned, who mentioned about the social media, you, right? What she said was an excellent point. These days everybody has social media. At least leave the Instagram parts. Even at least உங்களுக்கு ஒரு தனி Instagram இல்லனாலும் your parents Instagram ID you would know, you will access to that. So that is a part and parcel which everybody does now. No method that however people try to have parental lock and stuff, still people get access to it. At least YouTube. Leave YouTube and social media. WhatsApp la forward la kuda nare messages varum. People put that in such a way where, as she mentioned, romba generalize பண்ணுவாங்க the term. Mood change ஆகுதா, இவளுக்கு bipolar தான். Right? ரெண்டு நாள் பேசாம இருக்காங்களா, ரொம்ப அழுறா, இவளுக்கு டிப்ரெஷன் ஆகுமோ. See, this is different. Never use clinical terms until you have knowledge about it. We as therapists itself are not confined enough to use labeling. That is something that's not supposed to happen in a clinical setting. Why? Whoever be that person, whatever disorder or disease that person has. MDD, major depressive disorder கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு you need a span of 6 to 8 months. For example சொல்றேன், I don't want you to put into PDD அப்படின்னு சொல்ற அதை விட தாண்டி இருக்கிறது 2 years span. 2 years இருந்தாதான் this person is putting for PDD. PDD இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு suicidal ideations இருக்காது. Major MDD இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு தான் suicidal ideations idea இருக்கும். So a patient comes 2 years, கரெக்டா 2 year, அப்போ ஓகே PDD ல போறோம். 2 year ஆகலனா 2 year ஆகலனா chance of them to put under the MDD bucket or some other depressive bucket is higher. That is how a criteria follows. Criteria மாதிரியே நம்ம வாழ்க்கை போகணும்னா வளம் பிடிக்கக்கூடாது. அந்த ஒரு criteria-க்கு different aspects இருக்கும். Anxiety, GAD-னு ஒரு இது இருக்கு. 6 months வரும்போது 3 months வரும்போது GAD செக்டர்ல போட முடியும். Generalized anxiety disorder. All of a sudden, your friend shows nervousness to come and talk in stage. இவளுக்கு anxiety தான், இப்படி தான் கண்டுபிடிச்ச. Breathe in பண்ணு, breathe out பண்ணு. Good. Those are good techniques to put your nervousness at ease. Never label them. Panic attacks. It's something that has been really recurrent in a student population, in the whole generalized population. panic attack வந்த உடனே people react to that person as a patient. உட்காருமா, நீ ஓகேவா, தண்ணி வேணுமா, வேற ஏதாவது, good. But after that moment also, don't consider him to a patient. Patient இல்ல. Panic attack is a part and parcel of whatever that person is going through. Sometimes panic attacks does not need a triggering event. Right? In the விஷயம் வரும். Have you started learning about disorders and diseases? Okay, what are the disorders and diseases you had gone through? OCD? Then? Dissociation? Okay. PTSD, good. இதுக்கெல்லாம் எந்தெந்த criteria அப்படின்னு கத்து கொடுக்க ஆரம்பிச்சா? You have that. Symptom. இவ்வளோ months வந்த இது அப்படின்னு? Not yet. I don't think you'll be having. Only the symptoms. Once you get into, if you're planning to take psychology, once you get into your BSc thing, by third year or something, you will be learning about ivlo months irundha idu, ivlo months irundha. For example, autism. Have you learned about autism? Yes. Okay. Within what year do you think autism oda science show panni kandupidikalam? What is that childhood age? 0 to years. No. What if try? Ama, idella okay. When did you find the early signs? In the age la pudicha intervention kodukala. 0 to 2. Okay? Within 2 years kudikumbodhu correct and the population நம்ம screening பண்ணி புடிச்சோம்னா intervention கொடுக்கிறது ரொம்ப சுலபம். அது most of the neurodevelopmental disorder, especially for autism. Now, in the criteria 2 முடிஞ்சு 1 month ஆயிருச்சு. Still that person has autism. Right? Up intervention கொடுத்தாலும் it is possible தான். What I'm trying to put here is each has each own criteria. அவங்க சொல்ற மாதிரி over generalization of the labels, terms, never do that. I've had a client who felt that she had depression but she didn't have depression. What she had was a process through grief. Griefla we have a stage of depression but it's not a major. அந்த ஒரு grief period போகும்போது are you learning on grief? No. Okay. Griefla we have ஒரு loss நமக்கு நடந்துருச்சுனா இல்லனா something that we cannot accept about it. There are 5 stages of grief and so we'll go through something. That's a different thing. One particular stage is depression. A stage is depression. That type of depression and the normal depressive disorder is complete difference irukku. She came in telling that I've been diagnosed with depression. I was like, okay. And நம்ம பாக்கும்போது there's a difference in this. இதல mention பண்ணும்போது பேசும்போது we'll be able to understand. How did you get diagnosed with depression? Your friends சொல்லிருக்காங்க social media la there's an influencer who came and told இந்த 3 criteria இருந்து உங்களுக்கு depression இருக்கு அந்த 3 criteria எனக்கு இருக்கு I have depression. This is something that's happening. If you don't legitimate people, if you over label all these things, possibility of having all these things is much higher. Ipo you have how many is part 1 la evlo indicators irukku? 10. How many should be present for you to think? 5, 6, 7, no. 4, no. Total 1. Excellent. ஒன்னு இருந்தா கூட you have to talk to this person or report this person to in person. If you're not able, again, your age group is not the period where you take this problem to your hand. Whatever be it, report to your elder, report to your parents or your teachers or your whoever is helping hand out there. இதுல ஒன்னு இருந்தா போதும் that for you to understand that person is going through really something bad or rough or worse. Moving ahead. Okay, let's see here. A classmate suddenly stops joining activities, gives away their favorite belongings and says, I won't be around here much longer. நம்ம இப்ப பார்த்த அந்த 10 criteria-ல which all will fall into this? Ideation, hopelessness, purposelessness, substance abuse irukku illa, withdrawal, good, vera is there hopelessness soltinga, anger irukku from the statement? No. Excellent.
Mood changes.
Mood changes. Mood changes evident இருக்கு இல்ல mood changes evident இல்ல வேற recklessness இருக்கு T என்ன trap lack of having the feeling that என்னால தவிக்க முடியாது escape பண்ண முடியாது. From these three statements, if you are able to get so much from this path form, உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ்ல இருந்து ஒரு classmates and juniors, seniors, whoever be that, even your parents or your relatives, your cousins, I'm not limiting this to a school phase thing. There are multiple amount of people you meet. For example, you go in buses, vans. Obviously, a busmate, a vanmate might be going through anything of one of these. High time we understand this. Moving to the beating.
Wanting to end your own life is terrifying, but unfortunately a reality that many young people face. Sometimes people have passing thoughts of death. For example, they may wish they wouldn't wake up the next day. Even when there doesn't appear to be immediate danger, these thoughts should be taken seriously. On the other hand, sometimes people have active suicidal thoughts, meaning they have a specific plan, access to the means, and intent to carry it out. If you or someone you know is experiencing active suicidal thoughts, call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. Meet Dakota. Dakota has been bullied at school and his school life is unpredictable. His parents fight a lot, and sooner or later their anger turns toward Dakota. Dakota doesn't feel safe or comfortable anywhere. Dakota began to have thoughts of ending his life. He felt no one would miss him or could help him relieve the hopelessness he was feeling. One day at school, his teacher asked him how he was doing after she noticed he hadn't been acting like himself lately.
Ma'am,
He opened up to the teacher about what was going on and his suicidal thoughts. He felt compassion and care from the teacher, and she helped him get the support he needed. Having thoughts about death doesn't mean you're crazy. It is your brain getting your attention in a dramatic way that something is wrong. A lot of times people don't want to die. They just want their pain to stop. There are almost always warning signs that someone is thinking about suicide, such as making hopeless or angry posts on social media, having noticeable mood or personality changes, or giving away possessions. Check in if you think something is wrong. It will communicate that you care, and it might save a life. If you yourself experience suicidal thoughts, know that you are not alone. Being human can involve intense suffering and confusion, but professional counselors can help you through whatever is causing you pain.
So how would we manage these kind of thoughts? First, we learn about warning signs. Is part walk. Ayana? Ideation. S is for? T? A? T? H? W? A? R? M. Excellent. How many signs should be there? Good. Now, Ippo, you have found a person or you are a person of this. How would you handle this? First one, talk it out. Never keep it to yourself. நான் முன்னாடி சொன்ன மாதிரி, if you know a friend is going through self, never take it to your hand. If you are going through something like that, okay, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, I'm shut out to a place. நான் யார்கிட்ட சொன்னாலும் எந்த பயனும் இல்லை. No. There are a lot of people, multitude of people who looks up to you. The thing is that you have never known about it. Talk it to us, others, who? To? யார்கிட்ட பேசுறீங்க? Counselor, your friends, anybody. There is not a particular division that okay, நான் counselor கிட்ட போனா மட்டும் தான் I'll be able to share. For some people, you just need a place to rent out. You just need a place to put this உள்ள இருக்கிற a lot of emotional overwhelming ஒரு இடத்துல சொன்னா there are people who have been okay just with that. Make sure you talk it to others. Second one, journal feelings. Who has the habit of diary keeping here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. How do you feel about after writing the diary? You feel better. Why?
I share my feelings.
Excellent. Where? Who else did you say the diary?
It's a kind of self-reflection that we check on our own progress.
Excellent. Another one?
When I feel like I can't talk to anyone, I think of the diary as a person and I rent it out.
Excellent. Here is where the aspect of non-judgmental interest will come. Why are we scared to share all these things? மற்றவங்க நம்மளை பற்றி என்ன நினைப்பாங்க இது சொன்னால் அவங்க நம்மளை see it can be even a family conflict. அப்பா அம்மாக்குள்ள சண்டை நடக்கலாம். It might be affecting you too much. இது பற்றி வெளியே சொன்னால் அப்பா அம்மாவோட விஷயம் தானே வெளியே வருது தெரியக்கூடாதுல்ல. So then some people who are not feeling confident enough to share with others, they root out for journaling feelings. It's an excellent method. It's a highly recommended one from childhood itself. Diary யாராவது படிச்சிருவாங்கன்னு பயம் இருந்தா use a phone method. Put a lock to it. Put a pin to it. Write it there. Who are interested in art? Great. There's something called as mindful doodling. Doodling என்னன்னு தெரியும்ல? ஏதாவது ஒன்று you will scribble that particular thing. Something, it doesn't mean that you have to bring an essence to that thing or nothing to that. Something or the other you will have put into a picture. Doodling the issue itself has reduced 30% of chances of solving the problem. Right? Third, breathing and grounding. Okay, let's do an activity. நீங்க உட்கார இடத்துல put your back straight. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly open your eyes. Touch any 5 things that is new to you. Any 5 textures. Okay. Look for any 4 things and name them. Done? 5 things, 4 things done? Okay. 3 things. Let's do it in this manner. No. 1 thing that you can taste now. அப்படி இல்லை. One thing you can taste is what I'm trying to mean. Something that you can, some taste. For example, I can have a sweet taste, a bitter taste, an umami taste. Anything, some kind of taste that you're feeling. Did you have a break? Snacks period இருந்துச்சு? Do you have? Lunch ஆக போகுது, right? Okay, did you have your snacks? No, yes. Canteen இருக்கா? Canteen போயிட்டீங்களா? Okay, what did you have today? Samosa, where? Juice, where? Jam, okay. Are you able to, as I'm telling, are you able to find that little textures on your skin? I mean, on your tongue, you know, that area is giving out little taste of whatever you had previously. Okay. Now this is grounding technique. Idla 5 step irukku. 2 things that you smell, 3 things that you texture, and all these part of that. All the 5 senses in there. Touch not 5. 4 is see. Hearing is 3. 2 smell. 1 tongue. Okay. This is a very effective grounding technique. Grounding abdina. Imagine you're having all of a sudden anger, all of a sudden anxiety. Anxiety doesn't mean that anxiety. No. Nervousness, tension, whatever. ஒருத்தங்க பேசுறாங்க, உங்களுக்கு அது பிடிக்கல, திருப்பி ஏதாவது சொல்லணும்னு இருக்கு, சொன்ன தப்பாயிடும். You do this method of this breathing along with grounding, highly effective. Why? Our brain, it will just redirect the methodology that suddenly put the focus into it. When you're having so much of emotions, you have learned in your paper, a lot of biological aspects work. Yeah. Your hypothalamus will be working, your hippocampus will be working, because அவனுக்கு எதிரான பாயிண்ட் சொல்லணும், பின்னாடி மெமரியில இருந்து நான் தூக்கி அவனுக்கு என்ன இப்போ நான் சொல்ற பாயிண்ட் அவன் என்கிட்ட பேசவே கூடாது. So your hippocampus is working, a lot of memory function is working, a lot of emotional senses is working, a lot of your hormone and neurotransmitters are working. To put everything at ease, to put a stop, a pause to your brain, this will help you a lot. Last one, stay connected. Again, now first சொன்ன மாதிரி தான், never handle the things by your own. Moving to which, we have a particular process where, how can you help a friend? இப்போ நீங்கள் சொன்ன, here initially I told about how can you handle to this thing. உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்டு கிட்ட நீ போய் ஜேர்னல் பண்ணுமா அப்படின்னு பண்ணால் அவன் பண்ணுவாங்களா? Possibilities are very less. How can you help that person? One, ask directly. Most of the time, we find it difficult. நான் ஒருவேளை இவ இதுதான் பிளான் பண்றா, நான் இது கேட்டா அவன் பண்ணிடுவானோ, கேட்காமலே இருக்கலாம். Better. No. Lot of people would like you to ask something that they're going through. அவங்களா சொல்லணும்னு அடம் பிடிக்காதீங்க. You know someone, go and talk to them about this. Ask them directly itself. Are you feeling that you're finding it really hopelessness? Are you feeling to give up on life? Are you feeling it's எதுவுமே ஒர்க் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது, எதுவும் கரெக்ட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது, அந்த மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு தோணுதா? So and so. Listen without judgment. Is it possible to listen without judgment? Yes? No? Yes? No? It is possible. How is it possible? We had discussed about this point. How is it possible? Empathy. Excellent. Empathy. Irunda, you can listen without judgment. No more you feel that that is a prey, that is a predator, avanga pandrathu thappu. Illa. When you are able to genuinely put namesake podadinga. Namesake okay, ivalukku na 5 second emotion support kodukano na pesa poren. No. Adu avangalukku sense panna mudiyum. When you, whether you being there for namesake, whether you being there for genuine aspect, they'll be able to understand it really well. Put or be empathetic to that person. Don't leave them alone if the risk is high. If you find that the risk is adamantly high, romba higher irukku, that person is very constantly talking about this, giving up on life and all these things, what should you do? Stay with them, report na police kitta illa, yaar kitta? Elders, anybody who is elder than you, who will be comfortable in handling this position. Better teachers, parents, counselors. Okay? Because they know how to handle the situation much better. Connect them to the head. Okay. Here, you have paper with you? Okay. There is something called as gratitude journal. Are you sitting with your friends? Amma. Do you have roll numbers? Roll number 28. Okay. Who's your best friend here? Pick one. Okay. Name 2 things you're grateful for your friend.
Whenever I feel like in exams, if I score low marks, or whenever I feel bad about what I'm doing, he will support me if I was doing the right thing.
Okay.
And that's one thing I feel happy. Like sometimes I felt lonely, like in the face of time I felt like I don't have any real friend, but he was the first, like as per my aspect, was the first real friend.
Excellent. Give a clap. Few things you love about him. Your name is? Saravanan. Yours is? Your name is? Ashisha. Okay, 2 things about him. Whatever, apart from what you get told. Supportive. One moment, if you recall, you don't need to tell the moment. One moment, உங்க வாழ்க்கையில அவன் இப்போ அவங்க சொன்னாங்களே எக்ஸாம் டைம்லயோ you feeling alone that when nobody friends were there. you felt like, he is there, which was that specific one. Saravanan அப்படின்னு சொல்ற ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்னால வந்த நல்ல விஷயம் இருக்கலாம். Thing that you like the most இருக்கலாம். What is that one aspect apart from supporting us? Guide?
Like guiding. Like if I have any thoughts, he will tell me.
Excellent. Give a hand again. Something called as gratitude. That person existed. I'm happy that person existed. In the வாழ்க்கையில, the race we all are in. It's called as a rat race, a maze, something. We always are in the particular thing. படிப்பு முடிக்கணும், வேலைக்கு போகணும், இவ்வளோ சம்பாதிக்கணும், கல்யாணம் பண்ணணும், குழந்தைங்களுக்கு ஃபீஸ் கொடுக்கணும், அடுத்தது அதுக்குள்ள 50 வயசோட 60 வயசு. And then when we look back, we have nothing in our life. We feel completely lost. Whatever the points Saravanan and Ashish said is really valid. We fail to do this. காலையில் எழுந்திருக்கும் போது அம்மா கிட்ட அம்மா இவ்வளோ we only see that particular moment. அப்போ ரைஸ் ஆனாங்க, அப்போ இப்படி பேசிட்டாங்க. You have to be grateful enough that her mere presence itself is a beautiful thing in your life. Your father's presence is a beautiful thing in your life. Similarly, your presence is an extraordinary feeling for them. You're someone who changed their life. You're someone who made them a parent. Parenthood is a not easy task. Parenthood varumbodhu, whether you're first child or second child or third, middle, whatever it is, every time a child is born, that parent goes through something very, such a beautiful thing what the people go through. You are the reason they are having so much of enjoyment in life. Unga friend ku, see, the thing which you mentioned, when I feel lonely, எனக்கு அந்த ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ல யாருமே இல்லை, he was there. Is it easy to be there? Never. அவன் பர்பஸ்ஃபுல்லி போனானா, ஓகே இவன் ஒரு நாளைக்கு என்னை பற்றி இப்படி 10 வார்த்தை சொல்லுவான் 10 பேர்கிட்ட, அதெல்லாம் நான் போகிறேன். நோ, இப்படி ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷன் நடக்கணும், அவனும் ப்ரெடிக்ட் பண்ணல, இட் ஹேப்பன். Lack of showing gratitude, lack of putting to others that you matter so much to me, பண்ணா நல்லா இருக்கும். So next day or even today, make sure you tell to your friend how beautiful you are, not externally. Why that presence matter to you. Gratitude journaling is something where you write about your own things. I'm grateful I got such parents. I'm grateful such things happened. Appadi specific. The reason why I ask for specificity is here. It's very easy for me to tell I have a very caring parents. No. Edanala caring. Why do I sense them as caring? That is the specificity point. That is the most important point. If you are able to put that on a regular basis, if you are able to write that on a regular basis, research proves that you are an extraordinary person emotionally. Because you know how to direct your emotions, you know how to culture that energy and a lot of other things. Okay, இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு there are a couple of helplines that you can get access to. Again, I'm sorry you didn't have a paper and pen. These are something that you can get in availability to in different areas. The Wonderwala Foundation is something that occurs in a world level aspect. Asra and Sumaitri have Hindi and English and Tamil. Sumaitri has Tamil also. If you need, you feel that it's not something you can handle, யார்கிட்டயாவது பேசணும், ஆனால் யார்கிட்ட பேசணும்னு தெரியல, kindly get them, contact with them. Our Tamil Nadu government has also given something called as Nakkudan Ungaloda Mananale Sevai. This is something that came very recently, I think 2 to 3 years back, in 2022. Here the main aspect of this particular thing is to give them non-judgmental, quick guidance. It's a 24/7 basis, and this is the number you can give contact to. Okay, what is the Tamil Nadu government or the parent? Okay. To be frank, both of my activities were based on paper and pen. I don't know how would I handle this activity without that. Do I have one paper alone? Okay, this is a ball. We are going to play with this ball. Okay? For 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. Now here in this ball, this particular game is called as gratitude ping pong. Okay? I'll give anybody this ball. Within 2 seconds, you need to throw to another person. You can give it to the other person sitting next to you or throw across the room. But remember, on the 2 seconds, யார்கிட்ட நீங்க throw பண்றீங்களோ should tell a good thing about that person. Now, you forget to catch this thing. நீங்க ரெண்டு பேர்கிட்ட throw பண்ணோம். அந்த ரெண்டு பேரும் வந்துட்டு அந்த விஷயம் நீங்க யோசிக்கணும். Okay? Ready? Are all friends on this have no idea about the people sitting this side? Okay. Ready? பிடிக்கணும். நான் ரொம்ப மோசமா இருக்கேன். Okay, you can start. Game rules are very simple. 2 seconds kulla you need to throw to a person either next to you or across you. If the person whom you are throwing fails to receive that thing, that person should tell for 2 people. Throw for 2 people and tell for 2 people. Enna sollanum? Good thing about the person you are throwing to. Ready? Start. Tell. Before you give, tell a good thing about her.
She's really funny and she makes me laugh.
Good. Move fast. Fast. Remember, ஏரியறதுக்கு முன்னாடி கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி tell and give.
She's a very good friend. She's very supportive.
Specific.
She helps me in many situations when I got stuck.
Excellent. Who threw? Reason?
She is very helpful, ma'am. She helps me in all the ways.
Specific.
Ma'am, we both are in rights, ma'am. So I don't know to tie my hair. She helps.
Excellent. You.
Yes.
Specific.
Funny.
டக்கு
Funny girl, நல்ல பொண்ணு.
நல்ல பொண்ணு. ஒரு பீரோ போல வச்சிரலாம். Specific. கை நல்ல பொண்ணு.
Help பண்ணுவா படிக்க.
Okay, good. Fast. Next. You know anybody from here? Throw to them. To pick and throw. Yaru? Who? Shreya. What is good about her?
She's a my senior.
Excellent. Good. Shreya பிடிக்கலன்னா Okay, Shreya. Who's Shreya? You're Shreya? Tell me. No, pass it. One person. Why?
She is like my motivator supporter. She always gives me a good impression of me and she never judges anything that I say.
Okay, excellent. Pass. Pass. Who's the person?
She helps me studying. She motivates me again that I shouldn't give up in my life.
Excellent. Pass.
You is the one who makes counter jokes and comedy, and she's the one who makes me laugh, and she always my motivation talks.
Okay. Okay. You're easy. Motivation சொன்னா அவ்வளவுதான்.
One word, comfort.
Comfort. Why comfort?
Her presence itself is a present, ma'am.
People have not got the chance, but you're playing this in your classroom. Teachers would have. But I would be really happy if you're able to point and tell a good thing about your friend on a daily basis. Keep that as your routine. ஒவ்வொரு நாளும் ஒரு விஷயம் நல்லது பண்ணியிருக்காங்கன்னா pinpoint. It's more than enough. What was the warning signs? Thank you so much. I need to thank all the dignitaries out here. Yesterday when I got the call to talk about this thing, I was really perplexed because I have some other commitments to vara mudiyuma mudiyada and all this. I'm really grateful enough to make it really flexible for me to, I don't even know, I'm really grateful just merely meeting your whole lot of management. It's been a wonderful experience for me. The moment, I think from 10:30 or 10 o'clock I've been with ma'am. While reaching her, I've met sir, VP ma'am. Excellent people with heart, with, I don't know, I'm genuinely happy that I've been here in this institution. And your batch has been one of the best batches that I've ever mentored. That is in yellow color. I want to ask that question. The theme we have here is change the narrative. Every year we have a particular theme for a day. For example, mental health day is mental health for all. Something like that. Every year over a theme. In the year, these past 2 years, the theme is change the. Thank you so much.
Your words remind us that every life matters, that asking for help is a sign of strength, and that together we can create a world filled with compassion, understanding and hope. On behalf of KRM Public School, I sincerely thank all participants, organizers and especially our guest, Ms. Ria Jobson, for making this program meaningful. Let us take today's message forward, to be kind, to listen and to always remember that prevention begins with connection. With that, we conclude today's program. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.